Hey, stolen cousin. What time is it? What time is it? It's horror stories, animated. I wonder who will be dancing with me. I wonder who will be like, girl, can you just get into the damn video? Comment, which are you? Are you one of the two? Do you be boogieing with me, or do you be like, girl, hurry up? Um, but I'll jump right into it. Go on and like the video, please. Comment. I'll ask you some stuff throughout the video, I'm sure. And you should already be subscribed because this is a family. This is a bond. We're cousins. Stolen. Support's free over here. So why not? And other than that, two true OnlyFans horror story. These OnlyFans is these people be acting up on here. These people in these comments, these subscribers. That's not even the women. I mean, it's not even it's not even the people who own my account. Like what I think the last video I did, the man got stalked and almost got killed by two women. Like what? So it's gender neutral of who's been acting crazy in here, and it's only two stories. So let's see who's acting crazy. Is it a man or a woman? Mm. Get your blunts. Get your blunts. Get your blankets. Get your waters. Get your snacks. And let's get into it.
My name is Elsa, and last month, I turned 22 years old. As soon as I came of age, I moved out on my own and went to college. I always knew I would beat the world, but being older is more complicated than you think, especially when paying rent and college tuition. I got a job at McDonald's, but it was short because I needed time to study. Unfortunately, with that job, I can barely pay the rent, and I always end up using my savings. But I see how there are fewer and fewer, and I'm about to run out. I need to find another job, but whatever I did would take away a lot of time from my studies, and I couldn't continue going to college. So I was desperate. One day, a follower of mine on Instagram asked me if I sell content, and I told him I didn't. He politely said I should, since I'm a very pretty woman. I thanked him for the compliment, but told him that it's not what I was looking for at the moment, as I've always been somewhat shy and never liked to show too much of my body. I also asked him how it worked, since I needed the money, and he explained everything I needed to know and even said that if I opened it, he would be my first client. Although he had been accommodating, I didn't trust this man. He didn't have any publications, and in his profile picture, there was a drawing that my brother and I used to see when we were younger. I asked my friends, who also had OnlyFans, and they said it would be a great idea. Not only am I very active on social media, but also a lot of my followers are men who started following me from when I left my profile on my Tinder page. After inviting my friends to my house and a long photo session, my profile was complete. I saw many things in my profile that I would not have dared to put on my own, but for some reason, I invited my friends. They had no problem doing it for me. When they left, I looked at the pictures they uploaded in amazement. It was amazing what a little alcohol could do to me. I posted my OnlyFans profile on my Instagram stories and even reopened my Tinder account to self-promote. I then put a shortcut to OnlyFans from my profile and felt like I was ready to start making money. So I went to sleep and prayed to find good news for the next day. When the morning dawned, I took a giant leap to my computer and logged into my OnlyFans profile, and to my surprise, it was a success. I had at least 10 messages from people asking me for pictures. Among them, I noticed the one who had recommended me to become OnlyFans and told me that he would be my first client. I entered his message first, and he not only congratulated me for becoming an account, but also asked me for videos of me without clothes on. I had recorded several videos like that, so I just waited for a few minutes for him to think I was doing them on the spot and sent them to him. As he was attentive to my message, this person automatically accepted and made the payment. After a while, he replied that the video was great, and the next day he would ask me for more, and he did. All the clients talked to me to ask for content, and the moment I gave it to them, they thanked me and disappeared. But something was different with this user. He was clear to win me over, which was very annoying, but something about him caught my attention.
Girl.
He had the same tastes as me, watched the same movies as me, and it was as if we were connected. He understood me perfectly and seemed to have known me all my life. The chats with this user went on and on, many times flirting with me, and I must admit that I had fun doing it. Without mistakes, over time, the rest of my clients also began to flirt with me, but I never paid any attention to them. I told all of them that it was a professional relationship and they could only ask me for content. Most of them understood and kept asking me, and for those who didn't understand and got angry, well, luckily, there is the option to block. Thanks to OnlyFans, I could not only dedicate myself to study, but I even had plenty of time to do the things I liked. One day, I decided to visit my parents and my brother. I hadn't seen them for a long time, so I was very excited. I had to lie to my parents and brother about my job at OnlyFans, so I told them that I had been given the day off from work at McDonald's. The day flew by, and I was so excited. The day flew by and I was having a great time. My 16-year-old brother was not at home, and so I insisted that my visit be a surprise. According to my mother, he was about to return from playing ball, so I decided to wait for him in his room to surprise him as soon as he arrived. When I walked in, his room was still as messy as ever. I approached his computer to pass the time and noticed that there was already a browser open. So, curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. When I went in, my eyes couldn't believe what they saw. Pictures and videos of me, in which I was completely naked. I went to another tab I had opened, and there I found out he was the user I had been talking to. He was the one who recommended me to open OnlyFans and who had been flirting with me all this time. I quickly understood why we were so similar, and he seemed to know me so well. He was my brother. He knew everything I liked and used him to talk to me. I felt very dizzy and threw up, so I took a seat and my feet bumped into something. It was a pile of used napkins. I quickly understood what this meant. My brother didn't have the flu. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone to play ball. In my moment of greatest anger, I heard someone walk through the door and call my name in surprise. It was him, just back from playing ball.
Don't you
Elsa,
beat him?
Don't get mad. It's a friend's account. He just showed it to me, and I didn't know it was you, he said, scared. I knew he was lying. I know him perfectly well, and I know he is a lousy liar. I went to him furious and slapped him a few times, crying. He didn't put up any resistance. He just cried and asked for forgiveness. Suddenly, he stopped resisting and pushed me violently against the bed. His expressions had changed. He was visibly angry and looked like a different person. He began to threaten me and told me that if I didn't leave him alone, he would tell everyone about my account. He also told me he would forward the pictures to everyone I knew, so if I wanted to stop this from happening, I had to leave now and send him free pictures. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
What?
I was furious. I told him I was going to tell our parents everything, and it didn't matter if they found out I had OnlyFans. At least I lived alone. He was going to get kicked out of the house. I was lying. As angry as I was, he was my little brother. I could never do anything so nasty to him, but what he had done to me was unforgivable.
Bro, that's disgusting.
Not only did he trick me into giving him naked pictures of me, but he extorted me and threatened me. I kept threatening him and saw how his angry face started to break. He started to cry again for fear of being kicked out, and I kept telling him that his life was over. At
This
this,
is
he did something I
disgusting.
would never have expected. He opened the window and, without saying anything to me, jumped out of it and threw
No!
himself headfirst on the ground. I went to the window and screamed my head off, not believing what I saw. My parents came out of the house terrified and saw their
Oh
son's
my
corpse with
god.
his head open and began to cry, seeing me at the window with confusion. I was a murder suspect for a while, but the police determined that there was no struggle and it was a voluntary suicide. I told my parents everything that happened after that. I didn't feel I had the energy to lie to them. They kicked me out of the house and told me they never wanted to see me again.
I knew that was coming.
Time went by and I continued at OnlyFans, but I never interacted with any of my clients again.
That's great. Her brother? Her baby brother? Bro, he's sick. And then gonna try to, if you tell anybody, I'ma tell them you have an OnlyFans, so you gotta send me free pictures. Like, I'm sure if he didn't say that part, she would have done, like, she would have done anything. Ugh. Her brother, y'all. Her brother. Same blood, same genetic. Same mom, same dad. Now they don't want to talk to her because your son's sick. Which one of y'all is sick? Because stuff like that comes from genetics in my head. Either you're sick mom or you're sick dad. One of y'all got some sick shit going on. Y'all don't want to talk to me because y'all know the truth. Y'all know one of y'all be diddling sisters or used to diddle your brother. Because why is he like that? Why he think that's okay? What's going on with him? Oh my god. Bro, the twist of a lifetime. I had to light the blunt. That was so disgusting. Oh my, her brother. Her own brother. I'm sick. Like, ugh. That's disgusting, y'all. Disgusting. Okay. Story 2.
I am Kelly,
Can't be
a
worse than story
21-year-old
1.
woman who used to be a content creator on OnlyFans. I would like to share a dark memory of mine with you. This happened about 3 months ago. I, as an OnlyFans user, used to share my pictures that would appeal to those who would appreciate the beauty of a naked body. 3 months ago, I was mostly sharing these kinds of pictures and sometimes videos of me on the platform. The profit I was gaining was decent enough for me to keep on posting the kind of content that I would post, but with a desire to earn more, I started to meet with my fans. The ones that supported me the most financially could spend more to spend a night with me. Of course, as a person who was aware of the dangers of such meetings, I decided to contact a friend of mine. His name was Nick, and he was a very muscular guy who was trained in different martial arts. Before I started to go to these meetings, I made a deal with this friend of mine. Whenever I went to one of my supporters' houses, I would spend 2 hours, and after 2 hours, I would call Nick. If he could not hear from me, he would assume the worst and arrive at the address that I gave him. He was my personal bodyguard, as you can understand. As part of our deal, I would pay 20% of my profit to him. 3 months ago, I received another invitation from one of my OnlyFans supporters.
Sounds like something that sounds like
I started a chat with the guy. His name was Robert. He did not seem like the chatty type. He was more into sending pictures of his genitalia. At first, I was not sure to meet him, so I did not respond to his messages. But another text that came from him revealed something marvelous. His financial status.
Girl.
He sent a picture of his bank account, and the amount of money he had in that account was insane. I can pay you more than you can ever imagine, he texted. The next text was his address. I was charmed to see a fan of mine was so eager to see me. That is why I accepted his offer.
Charmed?
I
You're not
contacted
charmed,
Nick,
bitch.
as
You're
usual,
greedy.
sending
You
him the
want
address
money.
of Robert and the
Charmed.
details such as the time and date of our meeting. He said that he was sick, but he had a friend who would gladly help me. His friend's name was James, and he was a guy he met from the Muay Thai classes he was attending. Nick said that he would send my phone number and the other details to James, and he sent me his phone number. A day later, I got into a cab and went to the address Robert gave me. When I arrived there, I was surprised to see a very beautiful house. I assumed that even though Robert was a rich guy, he was pursuing a humble lifestyle. With hesitation, I knocked on his door. The wooden door opened very slowly with creaking sounds. There stood a young man, dressed sharply, looking more handsome than most of my other fans. He had green eyes and black hair. With a little sincere smile on his face, he hugged me and he said, "Oh, you must be Kelly. Robert is waiting for you in the bedroom." Realizing that this man was not Robert, I was quite disappointed. "Can you show me the bedroom?" I asked the cute gentleman. He leads me to the bedroom on the second floor right away. He opened the door and there laid an older man in his 60s. He had white, thin hair with dozens of wrinkles on his face. His skin resembled a corpse. When he saw me enter the room, his eyes blazed with infernal pleasure.
Look at that drool. Oh, you can't even see it. Oh, just go back.
When he saw me enter the room, his skin resembled a corpse. When he saw me enter the room, his eyes blazed with infernal pleasure. He looked at me as a drop of saliva fell down from his mouth.
"Get out!"
"Hello, Kelly. I am Robert, your biggest fan," said the old man as he smiled maniacally. I did not want to have intercourse with this man. I turned back, and as I tried to leave the room, the other man pushed me in and closed the door. I tried to open it in a panic, but could not. I could hear him locking the door. I started to scream and cry for help. Robert started to speak. "Look, there is no one that can help you right now. Nobody can hear your screams, and if you try to resist or hurt me, my son will burst into this room and murder you. Let's just have fun, and then you can have your money and leave." What shocked me the most was the fact that the young man who led me to Robert's room was none other than his son. What kind of twisted family was this? Unfortunately, Robert was right, and I had no choice but to let him have his pleasure. I stopped trying to open the door and turned around. As I looked at him with anger, I started to take my clothes off. "That's my girl," he said as he laughed. When I was taking my clothes off, I tried to find my phone and dial James, but I could not find my phone anywhere.
He got your
Then
phone?
I understood what happened.
When he hugged
Robert's son
he
must have
pickpocketed
taken
you?
it from my pocket when he hugged me. I was really frustrated and feeling hopeless. The only thing I could do was to wait for 2 hours so that James could understand that there was something wrong and come here.
James ain't
I tried my best to stall Robert and gain more time.
Come in.
Robert seemed to be frustrated at first, but when I told him that it was part of foreplay, he appeared relaxed. I ran around the room telling him to catch me. I hid under his bed. I made my makeup over and over again. I did all of this while giggling, making it look like I was trying to tease him, but in fact, I was just trying to gain more time.
He's mad old.
After a moment, he got tired of it and demanded me to lay down. I laid on the bed, and as he approached my body, I asked to go to the bathroom. He told me that he could not wait anymore as he held me by my wrists. I tried my best to free myself from his grip. He was a lot stronger for an old man. After minutes of struggling that felt like hours, I managed to free myself and instinctively hit him. He angrily shouted for help, and his son burst into the room. He grabbed me and held me down. I tried to fight back, but I could not. While we were struggling, my phone fell from the man's pocket and landed right next to me. I don't know how, but I managed to reach to my phone and call James. The man punched me and took the phone away from me. As he did that, I heard the ringing of another phone. The man looked at me and started to laugh as he took his phone from his pocket. I understood the messed up reality of the situation I was in at that moment. The young man who was fighting me was James. He threw my phone away as he continued to laugh and held me down. He pressed his huge hands on
No!
my neck. With the feeling of utter betrayal and desperation, I tried to find a way out of this hellish place I was in.
What a
At that point, I saw
twist!
two things. The first thing I saw was the huge window of the
You
room,
gonna jump out
and
of
the
it?
second thing was one of my heels next to me.
Hit
With
his
the
ass in the
last
eye.
drain of my strength, I reached for my heel. I grabbed it and shoved it into James' eye. He grunted in pain,
Yup.
and I
Hit his
pushed him
ass in the
off of me.
eye.
I ran towards the window and jumped through it. The
Oh!
glass shattered as I went through it, and lots
Second
of pieces of
story?
it cut my body. I escaped that place while bleeding. When I arrived at the house of another friend of mine, I told her what happened. We called the police and gave them every detail. At first, I was
Did you get
hesitant
in
to call
trouble for
Nick,
selling
but
yourself?
then I decided to call him and I told him what kind of devilish person James really was. He was as shocked as I was.
Oh.
He told me that he would help me with the investigation process and give every information he had about James to the police. James and Robert were caught by the police yesterday, and it makes me really happy to know that these monsters are going to jail. But what I had to go through left a scar that I must never forget. I stopped using OnlyFans after that incident as it was a website once I enjoyed using, but now something I kept having nightmares about.
You should have just stopped selling butt. Ooh, it's the third one? Get crazy. Sneaky. Little sneakers. It's just bad log of nothing. No way. Oh, that's crazy. Someone needs to say something. Did someone say something? No one said nothing. Well, guys, we seen that video. Crazy, right? Mm-mm. To a very, very crazy twist. Oh my god. Incest and then betrayal. Let's go on and like, comment, and subscribe. I thought it was the third one because it was like 5 minutes left, 5 or 7 minutes left. Like it could have definitely been, another one. But hey, to each his own. And until next time, you guys, I love you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can share it with someone if you want to. Why? Because support is free, and that's what cousins do. But other than that, yeah, bye.